Today we're going to be looking at the Crawford Forestry Tract hike, located just south and west of the Crawford Lake Conservation Area, which is located west of the town of Milton. Coming up next, I'll show you some photographs of the actual trail, and following that, I'll show you exactly where to find the trailhead and where to park your car and so on. So that's all coming up next. The portion of the Bruce Trail between Guelph Line and Twist Road is about 2 kilometers each way. So I'm kind of a slow-moving hiker. That takes me about 90 minutes. So this is the beginning of the trail as it leads from Crawford Lake. Somewhat of a rugged start, to say the least. The ground is uneven, but as you carry on through the forest, the trail gets a little easier to navigate. And this was taken in the middle of October. So there's even a wide logging road of some sort on portions of the trail, and then it gets back into some rugged stuff. So not so difficult as far as hills, but there are some climbing and rocks to navigate and that sort of thing. This is the near the end of the trail where it drops off 10 feet down to Twist Road. So that's what you would see at the Twist Road end of it. A bit of a challenge, quite scenic. A little bit of water streams and that there too. So okay, now I'm going to tell you just how to find the Crawford Forestry Tract, how to find the Crawford Conservation Area, and we're going to look at exactly how to do that. First off, the Crawford Lake Conservation Area has washrooms that are flush type as opposed to outhouses, and so lots of room to park there too. So that's the one option you have. Some people may choose to park on the road and hike in. So this is an aerial view of the Crawford Lake Conservation Area, shown here in the top right-hand corner. The double yellow lines are surrounding the road called Conservation Road. Be aware that they changed that name from Steeles Avenue about 5 or 6 years ago. The road going up and down and north to south, that's Guelph Line. The red line is the actual white trail leading from Crawford Lake Conservation Area around Crawford Lake, which is the big body of water, and across Guelph Line. So where the red line intersects the bottom of the page at Guelph Line, that's where the Crawford Lake Forestry Tract begins as you're heading west. So if you're like me and like to use a GPS, here is the exact civic address in order to get to the park or the conservation area. Below that is the civic address of a house that's right next to the park entrance. That might be useful in the context that Conservation Road was renamed about 5 years ago. So if your GPS is old, like mine, you might want to use the 8010 Guelph Line as a reference to get you to the park entrance. Don't go to that house, though, because that's somebody's private home. So this is a Guelph Line headed north towards Crawford Lake. Give you an idea of where these spots are. We're just approaching the laneway leading to the Crawford Lake Conservation on the right, and the trail that goes through the Crawford Forestry Tract is right across the road here. Where that blue car is, there's two yellow sleeves on the hydro tie-down wire. That's where the entrance to the Crawford Forestry Tract is, to go start heading further west and south towards Twist Road. Now, there are spots here where it's marked no parking, and spots where it seems to be okay. So if you wanted to actually go into the Crawford Lake Conservation Area and park there, I'll take you a little further down the road. It's another 100 meters, I think. Drive by that pond, and on the right you can see the Crawford Lake sign. And just coming up on it now is what they call Conservation Area Road, and there it is there, the intersection. And just swing over there. There's a sign for Crawford Lake and the driveway. So you'd turn right and go down there to the Crawford Lake Conservation Area. There's a huge parking lot. Sometimes there's an attendant on there to collect your money, and sometimes you have to put money in the envelope. But there's a lot to see in that area too. Here's an aerial view of the hike, presuming that you start at the Crawford Lake Conservation parking lot. The red line represents the Bruce Trail as it leads all the way down to Twist Road. So that's the Bruce Trail that's marked with white blazes. The Crawford Forestry Tract is between Guelph line, which is shown here in the blue line, and Twist Road is where that segment of the trail would end, shown here where the red line finishes at the bottom of the page. So this is another aerial view, a little closer to the ground. Again, the Bruce Trail is marked here with a red line. And notice the positioning of the trailhead, shown here with that yellow arrow that says enter trail here. That's just south of the camp road and somewhat north of the car park, shown at the bottom of the page, opposite the water pond there. I'll give you a closer street view of that here in a second. Here's a photograph of the actual trailhead. Notice on the pole to the middle of the page, there's a white sign saying Bruce Trail, and the two white blazes that are on the post. And to the right of that, you can actually see the footpath. Note its proximity to the no parking sign in the 60 maximum sign. So that's where you see that. So here's one more look at how to find the trailhead on the Twist Road end of the segment. If you're driving in your car heading north from Derry Road on to Twist Road, we're going downhill now towards the entrance to the Crawford Forestry Tract, and right here there's a little spot where you can park your car. The entrance to the trail that we're talking about today is just about 100 meters up. See that yellow sign just beyond there? And one more click. There's the double blazes on the right-hand side, and that's the entrance to the trail. So if you're like me and you prefer GPS civic address location, nearest house is this one here shown at the bottom, and the red line again shows where the trail meets Twist Road.